woman wasn't created to submit to a man. A man was created to submit to a woman. And when a man submits to a woman, he becomes the best version of himself. Women, you are created to submit to God. Because when you submit to man, you lose yourself. You start to love a man more than you love yourself. Now you allow this man to treat you any type of way. And it's hard for you to leave a man when you don't put your all into him. Submit to God. Because it's your divine right to sit on a throne. You are not just sitting on a throne. You're not just a queen. You are the throne itself. That's why when you look in nature, all you see is queen bee and queen ant and queen this and queen that. They even had the audacity to try to name the lion as the king of the jungle, knowing that the lion is the most laziest beast in the jungle itself. Women, you were never created to submit to a man. A man was created to submit to you, and when a man submits to a woman, he always becomes the best version of himself. He's submitting to his responsibilities and his duties of the divine. Now he's protecting and providing for you because he understands who you are, and it makes him want to work harder. So now he's achieving better goals and more goals and reaching his dreams. When a man submits to a woman, he becomes great. But when a woman submits to a man, she loses herself. You were only created to submit to God, and any man that tells you different is a devil walking around in flesh. All praises due to the Most High.
Shabbat Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekaha Kwadash, to the elder apostles and bishop of Great Millstone, who rule well, who I learn from daily. I'd like to give double honor. Shalom to the 144,000, to the 1/3, to the hopeful elect. Shalom. I'm here to do a reaction video to the brother from GMS Truth is Fierce from Yahweh. If you're not subscribed and following him, you should. This brother bring out very edifying videos daily. He's a great teacher. And I think if you're not following him, you should follow him. As you just seen in the video, we got another pandering ass nigga who want to put women on top. And men can only be better if they submit to the women. Basically, everything that Yahweh Ba'ashem and Yahweh Shai has set up, everything that the Bible has told us, he's doing the exact opposite. Basically, an anti-Hamashiachian. But a lot of these men do that for the simple fact, with the women being the weaker female, it's easier to persuade them to believe in the stuff that they're hearing if you just blow a little smoke up their tailpipe. And we all know he's truly doing this for money's sake, just to get paid. He know if he can gain more followers, they'll pay him for all the followers he gained, and women will stick around longer than men do. So why not pander to them? I can get my pockets bigger. A lot of them will go to paying them. Like, they'll pay a nigga like this to make sure that he's well taken care of, because what they feel like he preaching is the truth, but preaching a whole lie, because he don't care one bit about him. All he thinking about is that money and how to get it. But we see why Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai said the love of money is the root of all evil. Matter of fact, we might as well go ahead and get that. This is 1 Timothy 6:10. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which some covered after they had erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. And we see him erring from the faith by preaching and false doctrines that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has put the woman on top, that he want to see them lead the men, and the man can only be great if he followed the woman, which we all know that is total lies. Most of the men that they even consider great was great before they even had a woman. Matter of fact, without them being held back by the thought of the woman or being in that relationship with the woman, a lot of them was able to achieve their dreams. Then the woman came. But like I said, this is for the love of money. When you lust after that money, you gotta have it. You'll go to speaking as someone who preaches the opposite of what the scriptures say. Slacking for that brain for it. And we just seen it. Talking about the woman was built to lead the man. Why? How was the weaker vessel built to lead a stronger vessel? You got to explain that to me. The ones who physically weak, mentally weak, and spiritually weaker than the man is meant to lead. That's crazy. I mean, I know they got to say put your best foot forward, but I never heard them say put your weaker foot forward. But a lot of these men, for that money, they will preach these damnable heresies that the Lord had already warned us about. Let's see, Slovakia. Here we go. 2 Peter 2, verse 1. But there were false prophets among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you. And we've seen this. This man here is a false teacher who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that brought them and bringing upon themselves swift destruction. And that's all he doing. Because for that love of the money, he bringing in damnable heresies that women shall rule over men. And man can only achieve his greatness by having a woman with him. I mean, Abraham didn't become rich because he had his wife. Neither did Isaac or Jacob or any male in the Bible. It was because they followed the Lord and he increased them. Solomon had over 1,000 women. You think those 1,000 women that made him great? No, he was great. He was great without those women. Heck, look at Yahushua. When he came back as Yahushua, he dealt with no woman. No woman. And is truly the greatest man to ever walk this earth. So you telling me he needed a woman to reach that level? No, he didn't need no woman to reach that level. That's going off. But that's the damnable heresy he trying to bring in. Why? Because he's trying to make more money. And how he's trying to make more money? By playing on these women weak ass emotions. But before we go, let's look up that word damnable. Because there's a lot of guys like him who out here who think Yahweh Shem Shai is a joke, and they keep pushing all these lies, and don't think it will end to their destruction. But soon, and very soon, the Lord is going to get tired and start judging a lot of Israelites for the things they say. All right, this is damnable, Strong G 684.
Strong's G 684. Apolia.
Destroying utter destruction of vessels. And these bodies are vessels. Perishing, ruin, destruction of money. See, even the Lord can even destroy his financial situation, which he's trying to increase. The destruction which consists of eternal now it's going off. Ruin or loss, physical, spiritual, or eternal. Damnable, damnation, destruction, die, perdition, perish, pernicious waste. So he don't realize, man, you bring in these damnable heresies, you can be destroying yourself. Not the Lord. Salaki, let me slow down. Not only physically can Yahweh Shem Shai destroy you, but also spiritually. And you see that here in the definition. So you trying to bring in these damnable heresies, but you ain't realizing that the Lord can destroy you for this. And he can do it both ways, not just physically, spiritually as well. He can cause this man to lose everything. Then once he lost everything, put him into a depression, have a spirit talk to him, and utterly end himself. Why? Because he bringing in these lies saying this is what Yahweh Shem Al-Shai said that women should be on. And a lot of women gonna take to a nigga like this, gonna take to the doctrine he bringing in, the lies, because a lot of them real deal think they're over the man. They're already full of sin from all the adultery and other things that they commit. So it's easy for them to believe that lie, being the weaker vessel. I'm going to go here. 2 Timothy 3, verse 6 and 7. For this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women, laden with sin, led away with diverse lusts. And that's why he's doing that. He's trying to get to those silly women, those foolish women who's going to believe the things that he is saying, who's going to believe the crap that he's pushing, and ultimately was going to lead him and them to their own destruction. Ever learning and never able to come to knowledge of the truth. Yeah. They always learning, reading the Bible every day. Got a little bookmark, had a little glasses on, look, highlighting the scriptures, don't understand none of them. But swear they want a man of God when they don't even understand what's going on. In the first place, mainly because they don't want to submit themselves. Because as you heard the man, don't submit yourself to a man. The man needs to submit himself to you. No, that's not how Yahweh Shem Shai set this stuff up. All right, I just want to get this in the God word translation before I leave. Some of these men go into houses and mislead weak-minded women. Look at that. Call law Yahweh Shem Shai. Telling you. And we see this man trying to mislead those weak-minded women who are burdened with sin and led by all kinds of desires. And for a lot of them, it's the rule over the man. These women are always studying but never able to recognize the truth. And that's why men like him continue to get over, continue to be the head, to continue to wring them out of every damn dollar they got. Because they can't recognize the truth. They can't recognize this man is only here for their hot buck. He don't care about them. Because if they truly wanted a man, they'll submit themselves. I'm going to go here. 2 Timothy 2 and 12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. See? The Lord don't want you to have power over the man. That's not your job. That's not what you were created for. You were created to be a helpmeet unto the man. He's not supposed to submit himself unto you. You're supposed to submit himself unto him. And we know it got men that have themselves submit to women in ways we're not going to talk about, but you know what I mean. When they deal with that pegging. But that's why the women had a hole and the man had a pole. Because the woman had to submit herself to her husband. And he enter into her and she don't enter into him. Like I said, we know there's those men that let those women do that kind of thing to them, but we're talking about the ways of Yahweh, the true ways of Yahweh Shem and Shai. That's why we go here. 1 Peter 3, verse 5 and 6. For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in Yahweh adorned themselves, being in subjection to their husbands. See? Even the women of old in the Bible, they knew to submit themselves to their husband. Meaning their husband was over them. They was his servant. Verse 6. As Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughter ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amusement. amazement, Salaki. See? You so-called black, Latino, and Native American women, you're the daughters of Sarah. Just like she obeyed her husband and called him Lord, that's what you should be doing. Matter of fact, it's just not them, but anyone should obey their husband because they're the weaker vessels. And that's how the Lord set up everything. Remember, the Bible gave you the divine order. There's Yahweh, then Yahushua, then man, then woman, then child. That's the order how the Lord set these things up. And that's how everything will play out. But you got men like this who have that lust for money, teach contrary to the doctrine, but don't know he's leading you and himself to a swift destruction. And we're going to end it out here in Matthew's. So like I'm walking into this hellhole. 7 and 22 and 24. Many will say in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils? And in thy name done many wonderful works? And see, this is going to be that guy. This is what he's going to do. Yahushua, man. Oh, man. Remember I prophesied, I did this, I did that? That what Yahushua going to tell him. And then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of iniquity. And how is he working iniquity? By telling women that they should be over the men. So, therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken them unto the wise man, which built his house upon a stone. And he's not a wise man who built this house upon a stone, but instead upon saying. All he's gonna do is sin. Why? Because he got a lust for this money that he just won't tell the truth. He won't preach the truth, and he's trying to make it look like women should be over the man when the Lord said the contrary to that doctrine. But that's all I have to say about that. It's time for me to go back off lunch. So, Shabbat Shalom. Give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Shalom.